rise, everyone. Is a collective enlightenment again. Jumbo greetings, Semire. Great Ras and everyone. Is a collective enlightenment for all African children. Please like and share. Like and share widely. We will be talking about life, death, and rebirth. You are also welcome to send a request to join the life. The collective enlightenment for all African children. Jumbo greetings, Semiri. You're welcome, everyone. Great Rasink. Please like and share. Please hit the like button and share. We'll be talking about life, death, and rebirth. Is a collective enlightenment for all African children. Please like and share. Like and share. Please like and share. Hit the like button and share. We will be talking about life, death, and rebirth. Please like and share. It's a collective for all African children. Please hit the like button and share. Great Rasink, everyone who is here. Great Rasink. Thank you, everyone who is sharing. Please hit the like button and share. What we are talking about today is life, death, and rebirth. Life, death, and rebirth. And on this program, we've discussed about the Trinity, the Holy Trinity, the Trinity that expresses our way of life, and also the Trinity that expresses our spiritual essence. So we are going to talk about that same Trinity as regards to how we live and die and then rebirth. Life, death, and rebirth, the key of reincarnation. Please hit the like button and share. It's a collective enlightenment for all African children. Please like and share. You're also welcome to send a request if you have a question regarding African spiritual system. Please like and share. Please like and share. We will be talking about rebirth. Greetings, Aname. You're welcome. You're welcome. Life, death, and rebirth. The Trinity that binds us to life. Great Rasink Wanyoma. You're welcome, Aname. Please like and share. If we got to live, we have to die. If we have to die, then we have to be born again. Those are the opposite, the scale of life. We die to live again, and then we live to die. And then when we die, We rebirth, the seat of reincarnation. So how does all these things happen? How does it happen? You know, a lot of us, we've heard so much about reincarnation, but so many people are still confused about it. Reincarnation is the seat of life, you know. As I am living now, there is no death, and when I die, life does not exist. I can only experience one at a time, you know. And when I experience any, it's just a portal into another part of it. Because when you have the experience of life, death does not exist. So which means when the experience of life is happening to a person, when you're experiencing life, death does not exist. So one of them can come one after the other. And when we experience death, it just means that we are also getting ready to be rebirthed into another part. And most of these things, the reason why it's difficult for so many people to understand reincarnation is because when we live this life, after that death comes and then we forget. It's just like all of the memory of the past is being wiped off from our memory, you know. But both of them must happen. It must happen because death is just another door into rebirth. Like and share is a collective enlightenment for all African children. And how is all of this possible? It is possible because I have a mother, I have a father who also, the key of civilization within the family lineage was handed over for them to continue that recreation. You welcome Queen Eva. You know. So to continue that creation, we must always bring together the union of marriage. A lot of people don't really value the real union of marriage, but the union of marriage is more of a ritual. Why? Because it is through marriage the key and the door to the portal of life is opened. So because somebody is dead doesn't mean they are actually dead. It's just the body you're crying for. Nobody ever talks about the life that existed in the body. Why? Because all of the time we spend in understanding and knowing people, we just take them for their fleshly way of living. We don't have the time to look through people and actually see the actual them, which is the spirit. So death is just another gateway into life and rebirth. So when a person dies, what happened? They get rid of the body. Why? Because the body does not have the ability to live eternal. Because the spirit is an eternal being, is immortal. In order for the spirit to experience that immortal being, when this body gets weak, the spirit have to leave. When this body gets sickened, the spirit have to leave. Why? Because the journey of the spirit is always limited by the flesh. You know. So when this flesh gets weary, the spirit gets rid of this body and then move into another body through rebirth. What makes rebirth possible, like I said, is because of the union of marriage. You know, the civilization between a man and a woman, the child, the children. You know, this is the Trinity. If you look at the whole world is ruled by Trinity. A man have to come to a woman in order for them to create life. And then if you want to create life within, you have to follow the same process of creation. And then you look at the outer universe, the sun and the rain have to give them their gifts onto the earth in order for the earth to produce the plants, feed the animals, and all other things that is happening around the earth. Is all Trinity. And then you come into reincarnation, you will also see that this Trinity is playing out, because life is the gateway to death, and death is the gateway to rebirth. This is how we live, and this is how we continue to live an eternal life. You know. Now, this is what happens. If you have come into this life to learn a lesson, and that lesson you never learnt it, you will repeat. That is where rebirth comes again. You know. So if you have to live your life in a certain type of consciousness without following the path of self-truth, it's important for us to say our truth. The spirit is limited, like with the body. Like I said, most of the way of life the spirit wants to express, the body limits it. So you have to live your life to the fullest and express the spirit in order not to repeat this class again. A lot of people are going through so many things in life, but they don't even know where it's coming from. Most of the problem we go through in life is because we are repeating a life we failed to learn from. And then you repeat. So all of these things are opposites of each other. It's just a gateway. It's just like when you open a door, there is another door open for you. So you just have to walk through all of them without knowing what to expect. But whatever you expect in the future, though, it is as a result of what you have done from the door you have walked past from into the new door. And so how do you live your life? How have you lived your life? Because this life is a key to death. Because in order for us to experience the death, we have to experience life first. And when we experience life first, that means death is awaiting. And then when we experience death, what else are we going to experience? We experience rebirth. Now, the key of the rebirth that makes life easy or difficult for people, a lot of people will be asking, why am I suffering and somebody is doing well? Good rise, Elizabeth. It's been a while. You're welcome. A lot of people will ask question, why am I suffering? And thank you, Elizabeth. Why am I suffering and another person is doing well? Good rise, Chacha Chichi. I've heard so many people ask this question. Why am I always suffering and other people? Thank you, Elizabeth. Other people are doing well, and it's just difficult for me. I don't know how to go through things. Whatever I put my hands, it doesn't work. Whatever I do, it doesn't work. So many disappointments, so many stagnancy. All of these things are happening because there is a lesson you were supposed to learn and you're not learning that lesson. Some of the things you pursue is not meant for you. You can never have what is not meant for you. You have to start your life from the part that you have to understand that these things are lessons and I have to learn them. And again, whatever you chase, you will never have. You know. You have to become everything that is opposite of you. Become a magnet. A magnet is not loud. You just have to come close to an iron and then it picks it up. But if you look at our mind, it's so chaotic that most of the things that we want, we have self-sabotaged all of it within. And then for it to manifest, it becomes difficult. So a lot of people will say, I'm suffering too much. I don't know why. I don't know why. I keep doing everything in my marriage and nothing is working. You are suffering in your marriage because you also made somebody suffer in a past life. It's opposites. Whatever you dish to people, you must also receive it. The universe will give it to you to test you. If you will be able to take responsibilities and say your truth. But all of these things, we neglect them. Good rice wallow. We neglect them so much. But we always forget that while we are experiencing life, whatever you're given, the universe is taking them and they are keeping record. That is the record they told you that they will judge you when you go to heaven. They call it karmic debt. It is the seat of Saturn. Grand Rising Royal Goddess, you're welcome. It is the seat of Saturn. Repercussions. If you give good, the universe will store it and give you good karma. If you do bad, the universe will store them and give you bad karma. Whatever you give, you receive. That is the same word they say, whatever we sow, we reap. Some of the things we sow, we don't experience them in this life. Is waiting for us in the next life. And the most difficult part of it is that when the next life comes, we forget all of this time. You see? We forget. And when you forget, what happens? You keep suffering. And some of the things we go through in life is as a result of something, just a little thing we just needed to correct. Maybe just a circle we just needed to move out from. And then the whole thing will be fixed automatically. Thank you, Elizabeth. So you are living now because you have experienced life before. And you have experienced death before. That is why now you are living. Thank you, Elizabeth. That is why now you are experiencing life again, because they have been rebirth. We are having this life because somebody gave birth to us. That is the process of rebirth. And because of coming through this life through rebirth, we have experienced death and we have also experienced life before. That is why we are called the devil. You are the devil because you have experienced so many lived life. They lived. So all of these things are opposite of each other, And that is why everything we do is on the mental. It's very, very important because the mental is the only part of us that have experienced all of these lives. Now, in order for us to remember, we must tap into the Akashic record, which is the Ezumezu Agwo Ikenga, which is important. Why? Because all of the memory of all the lifetime we have experienced is stored there. So a lot of us don't even rise ourselves a lot to even remember. And most of our dreams we have is coming from a past life, but we don't know it. Some of the dreams comes from a story about the life we have lived. And when we see them, we often neglect. Sometimes we ask for the solution to our problem. And then when the solution to that problem comes, we don't even recognize them. We just call it a dream. 90% of people have seen the solution of their problem in a dream. But because because that self-actualization that we need to have within to recognize when a solution comes, we have given it to other people. We have been given the knowledge not to elevate ourselves, to neglect self and give that responsibility to somebody on the outer side. That is why you have a pastor, that is why you have a prophet, and that is why you have a shaman. When you give that ability, thank you Elizabeth, thank you so much. When you give that ability, your ability to another person, that person will directly have control over yourself. Why? Because you have sold yourself. The story in the Bible where they're talking about the two brothers, the elder one who sold his birthright. They are not talking about it actually the way we live, like a brother and brother doing that to themselves. That is not. It happens, but that is an allegory of self. Remember, everything in the Bible is about self. We have been betraying ourselves. Right from when we were a kid, we have been betraying ourselves. It haven't been about us. It is always about others. No time in our life that we have put ourselves first. You know. And then you begin to walk this journey. When awakening actually hits you, you understand that you are your own savior. Nobody's coming to save you. If there were an actual God out there who was going to save you, why then hustle? Why do you get up in the morning to go and walk? You should have sat down and died of hunger. You know. So this journey is accumulating. You are like a magnet. You are magneting a lot of things. Whatever you're dishing out, you're magneting good or bad from it. So when we move into a next life now, we have forgotten. It's just like a VR game. You know, when you're playing a VR game, you actually have the mindset that you are playing a game. But then this actual life is like playing a VR game, and then you wipe up the memory of being in the game in the first place. Imagine how that would be like. Great Racing Gifansi. Imagine how that would be like. Please, if you have a question regarding African spirituality, please, you can ask, leave that on the comment section. You are also welcome to join the live. So, just imagine how that would be like. A lot of us who have played a VR game, you understand how it's like. Just imagine you in a VR game without the knowledge that you are actually playing a game. You see, that is just life. That is how life is. You know. So it is good to work ourselves so much that we have the ability to remember all of our past life. Because if you can remember all of your past life, you will know every places you have gone wrong. Now, a lot of us don't really get it, because whatever you are suffering from is simple to understand when you have karma. Jada, yes, that do we rebirth in animal and tree forms too? Yes, that is possible, because if you look at the consciousness of the universe, the one on a man is not different from the one on an animal and the trees. In fact, most of the animals and the trees are more conscious than us. For a man to be conscious, we have to follow a certain principle, which means the animals is already following the principle. Why? Because whenever an animal wants to mate, what happens? They do it during their heat period. But a human being, they don't have time. They don't recognize the time they should engage in all those things. And then we eat meals that are harmful to the human body. Animals eat meals that are healthy to them. Why? Because they base on plants. They eat plants. You know. So the trees naturally are circulating with the sun. So you see, their own consciousness is even higher than us. That is why we say, do not harm the animals. Why? Because if you get to reincarnate as an animal, how will you feel if you're killed? How will you feel? If that actual animal you killed is given the responsibility, maybe becomes a human being, thank you Elizabeth, becomes a human being, and they gave the authority for them to kill you as an animal, how will you feel? Because as of that time, you don't have the language to communicate for them to understand. So haven't you seen animals sharing tears when you want to kill them? The tears is part of is part of you that is emotional. It's part of your feminine side. That is the tears. So I've seen so many animals, when you want to kill them, you see them run in tears. That is because they have a soul. Just because you are stronger doesn't mean you have the authority over them to take their own life. You stop them from having their experience. You're having an experience yourself as a human being. So if somebody stops you from having that experience, how will you feel? So it's wrong to kill them. So your question is very much possible. You know. So as I was saying, it's very, very important for us to elevate ourselves up to the extent we get to remember God never gave you authority over animal. Retrovibe is saying God gave us authority over animals. Somebody told you that God gave you authority over animals. That is why as a child, when you see an adult killing the animal, you start crying. Why? Because in your soul, in your consciousness, is embedded in you that is wrong. The Genesis you're telling me to read was written by somebody. So why don't you make your own research? The plants in the universe can never finish. You can never eat all of them finish. Okay, look at Africa today. In Africa, you're not producing your own plants. You're producing for export. The plants you're producing in Africa, they are taking it to abroad. That is what they are eating in abroad. Okay, imagine Africa starts producing their own crops. You think you can finish the food in Africa? You can never finish it. It's not possible. Why is it that religious people only have the Bible to give reference to? The Bible shouldn't be your reference book. Why? Because the Bible is an allegory. It's not even real. It's not something, it's not actual history that happened. So why do we always have the mentality that the only thing you should give reference to is the Bible? You shouldn't be giving reference to the Bible. My Bible said, go to Genesis. Why don't you tell me that you've made research out of the Bible? I mean, the tomb of Jesus Christ you talk about is empty. Why? Because the Jesus Christ you're talking about is the skull. The tomb of Jesus is the skull, the medulla oblongata. It's empty in the actual existence. You can't see it. They can't prove it. Why? Because it doesn't exist. But come to Egypt, our pharaohs are in their museum. That is actual history. So when you come here, you tell me that, okay, isn't the same Bible that told you that a woman was created out of the rib of man, but yet your mother gave birth to you? You cannot think as a religious person that this woman actually created me. Do you look like Adam and Eve? No. You look like your mother and father. Why? Because they are the actual Adam and Eve that created us. That is what I'm talking about. That is the rebirth. Why? Because we have to rebirth because we have experienced death. And we have also lived. That is why it's called the devil. The word devil, if you turn it upside down and spell it from the reverse, you will see the word lived. So the devil also came from the word death. You have to die to live. And then when you die, you have to rebirth. To live is to die, and to die is to live. It's all a pathway into one another. Who gave you authority over animal? Nobody. A fellow man told you that story, that you have authority over animal. Somebody wrote it. And yet you believe. That is why you say, I am a believer. Have you ever seen a spiritual person who follows the natural way of life come out and say, I am a believer? But you see religious people saying they are a believer. You are a believer because you were told about what you believe. I cannot come and say, I believe in my mom. No, I know my mom. I would discredit the Bible because the Bible was stolen. Yes, it's not real. It's produced in China. They are making money off the Bible you're using. People are, it's company, you know. People are making huge amount of money from the Bible you're using. So why wouldn't I discredit a book that was stolen from Africa? You know? That is why we call them the Antichrist. You can't call me an Antichrist. You people who are the religious people are the Antichrist. Why? Because you're telling lies about what what Christ actually means. It's a knowledge from my ancestors. So if you don't want to realize your history, you don't want to take over your heritage, and I'm taking it for you, you know. I come with facts. I've made my research. So when you come with the Bible, I will stand and tell you that it was stolen. Christianity started from the worship of Serapis. Do you know that? Do you know the Bible was written by the Constantine group called the Council of Nicaea? And do you know that the Jesus you're propagating is called Caesar Borgia? And the father was also a pope. You know? As of that time, social media didn't exist. The Jesus you see on picture started as a propaganda. Yes. No. I'm not being logic. I'm being direct. I'm being real. There's nothing like logic here. I'm stating facts. I was not made out of the rib of Adam. My mother gave birth to me through her vagina. Yes. If there is any other way that you have experienced that, come and tell me. If there is any other person who have successfully created man according to their own image, that is separate from a womb man, which is your mother, come and tell me. And then, if you can show me the body of Christ, I will take care of your responsibility. I wouldn't feel pain to do it. I'm confidently saying it because you cannot prove it, so I'm not going to take care of you, you know. So don't get it twisted. But you know all of these things, Final Maureen, you have the knowledge of this, and you're talking about having authority and animals, all that, you know. The Bible is not a reference book. You can't bring Bible into a reference, no, because it's not real. It's not actual fact. It's not fact, you know. Now you come down to our story as Africans. You come down to this allegory of Osa and Osset. I always say it that the Bible is an allegory from the original allegory. There is never a book that is written which is higher than yourself. You have the greatest book within. Go and study yourself and you will understand. You know? The pineal gland you all want to open. Do you know that the ear is directly connected to the pineal gland? You know? That is why the ear looks like the sac of a woman. The ear looks like a womb. You know? So you can't bring the Bible here. Because do you know that I was born in Jehovah's Witness? Do you know the Bible more than I do? I've preached to people the Bible. I know it from the beginning to the end. But the thing is, when you read the Bible, are you reading to understand or you're reading to understand? Why? Because everything that is told in the Bible is about the human anatomy. It's about you. It's all about you. Check the Greek names of all of the pages in the Bible. Check the Greek names. You will understand that they are talking about you. Okay, that is why you still speak like that, because the Jehovah's Witness, they have already told you the truth, that paradise is on earth. So which means you have to create the paradise within yourself. Heaven is not outside, but within. So whatever book you want to reference, reference yourself. I'm referencing myself. I know what Christ makes. I know what all of the books in the Bible mean. When you talk about John, John is your spinal cord. In Egypt, they call it the heaved up. That is the gathering of angels. You know? So the Bible is far, 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 far something of reference. Whatever reference you want to bring yourself. While you even, the problem with our society is they have programs us too much that even when we think something is right, it's not right. Why? Because whatever you think is right have been infused, it's been falsified. You're welcome, Cypro. It's been falsified, you know. You can come and tell somebody like me that a woman was made out of my rib. Come on, man. And you can come and tell me that God created me out of dust. When I'm looking at my mom, and I'm seeing people, I've seen women getting pregnant, giving birth, creating children. Why is it difficult for us to understand that women are creators? They are powerful. They are closer to God than a man. You know? So you can bring Bible as a reference because it's a book of life. That is why Constantine was called Antichrist. The Greeks called him Antichrist. Why? Because he was writing things that are not truth about what Christ is all about. So even in the Bible, they have told you the truth. That is the way they are programming people is tell them a little truth and then couple all of them with a lie. Yes, it's funny, AK Billion. It's really funny and it's laughable. You know? That is why if you want to become a pastor, they take you to program you. You know? They program you. Why? Because they teach you philosophy and then they teach you theology. Both of these studies are not a study of understanding, but rather a study of confusion. What happens? They bring a debate. They bring something but never gets to the truth. They can bring a topic, like the topic of Jesus Christ. They will preamble, run around it, but never gets to the truth. You know? So that story, do you know Jesus alone is embedded into many cultures, into up to 20 something before Christianity, Jesus. The same story, the same process. You know? Have you read the story of Krishna? The same. All of them have the same story. They didn't start with the Christian. Before the Christianity, they have been Jesus. You know? Now, before the Jesus Christ, they have been Chineke. Before Mary and Joseph, they have been Chineke. And they have been, out of Chineke, they have been Olisa, which is their first son. The child created out of the union of Chineke brings Olisa or Eze. You know? So we have been there. It's our allegory. You can bring something a white man root of our history, and you're telling me no. They can't tell me about my history. They can't tell me who I am. This is the same reason we are into the matrix. You know, my mother and father made it possible for me to reincarnate. And I'm seeing it with all of my eyes. What is he saying? You know? So all of these things, when you talk about son God, Jesus is never a son God. That is why they called it Son of Man. Even the Greek understood that. And when the Greek wrote their own allegory, you have to be also enlightened enough to understand that allegory. You know, for you to walk this journey, you must have the ability to understand allegory. In Igbo, we call it ilu, and you must understand what symbolisms, which is nyikota, and you must understand synchronism. which is usoro. So we have been there. You know, all these three things are the Trinity in understanding, in understanding. You must have it embedded in you that this is ilu, this is nyikota, and this is usoro. Allegory, symbolism, and synchronism. So all of these things we must follow. These are the principles of the earth. These are the principles that we must follow. The discipline we must follow. Africa, we are neglecting all of this discipline. Is even more important. You know, it's more important to follow all of these principles. You know? So my mother and my father is the originator, my mother is the creator, and I am the creation coming out of this divine union. You know, there can only be one me. I can only have one of my kind. So when they give birth to me, my mother is the first man and woman who have ever given birth to me. You see, these are the first man and woman. Your mother from your own parents are your own first man and woman, if you don't know it. So your parents are your Adam and Eve. Now, the story of Joseph and Mary is not even talking about the actual birth, which is the union of marriage. No, it's talking about the inner self, which is the masculine and the feminine self within, which can also be used to create life. So, if you use the union of marriage, which is the expression of man and woman coming together to create balance in order to bring civilization into life, to aid reincarnation, to aid rebirth, then you're talking about the story of Adam and Eve, the beginning of life. Your parents are the first man and woman in your life. Okay, if your parents are not the first man and woman in your life, who else is the first man and woman you knew when you were birthed? Tell me. Who else? When they gave birth to you, they gave you to your mother. Yes, they gave you name. God didn't come down from heaven to do that for you, no? It might trigger you, but it's the fact. Pure fact. But the truth remains. It's triggering you because it's the truth. I'm speaking to that a part of you that is not blind. Thank you, Quincy. Thank you. You see? So I don't know any other person apart from my originator, my first originator. The same purpose or use we are experiencing as a human being, that is the same purpose they are experiencing. I mean, they got to bite you to eat too. When they bite you, they don't think they are doing you bad. You see? They are having a life too. They have to survive. Just like you have to survive by going out to hustle, to do something. You see? We all have to survive. Thank you, Tony. The Bible have been telling them. That is why I always say it. The Bible will tell you a little truth and all of the add it with all of lie. That is what they are doing. They give you a little truth and all of it is a lie. Grand Rising, Judy Pishos. It's been a while, man. Honor your father and mother. But they gave you Mary. You're honoring Mary and the son. Now you look at Christianity. Christianity does not aid reincarnation. They don't teach reincarnation. Reincarnation is not even possible when it comes to religion. When it comes to religion, the Bible is telling you the truth. You either understand or you understand. You know, you either understand or you understand. I mean, everything written in the Bible from Genesis to Revelation is about you and is the truth. All you need to do is understand, have another concept, see it from a different angle. That is why I'm here. I need to correct all of those things. It's an allegory. You know, we need to diffuse all of those allegories. That is what we are doing, diffusing everything so that we can come to actual understanding of what that book is expressing. You know, that is what I'm saying. The Bible is not aiding reincarnation. Because if you look at their own Trinity in religion, they are talking about Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. No reincarnation. That is not how we reincarnate. Reincarnation is possible because father and the mother comes in union to create children. And then reincarnation becomes possible. So a lot of people complaining of the church, of the religion marrying a man and a man or a woman and a woman. You shouldn't be complaining. Why? Because it is in the Bible. It is the foundation of the Bible. You see? It's in the foundation of the Bible. The Bible upholds that union. But in Africa, it's different. In Africa, a man and a woman have to come together in order for them to create life. That is how we reincarnate. Without it, reincarnation is not possible. You know? So, when you complain about some certain things, you need to understand that this Bible, this religion, is also upholding them. You know? The religion is upholding all of these things. If you have to follow the religious way, you will know that reincarnation is not possible. Life, death, and rebirth. Our family lineage made it possible. Okay, now you look at your DNA. I keep telling people, do you know how many generations that made it possible to create only you? Do you know? Now, I gave an example. Look at your father's side. And then look at your mother's side. They have been marrying different families that is not even connected to the lineage of your mother. They have been marrying different people, and then before it gets to you. The same thing has been happening on your father's side. People marrying each other. And then before it gets to you. To create all of DNA. Just to create one person. And then that is why our DNA is most important. Why? Because your DNA carry people you don't even know of. People you don't know. People your own grandfather have forgotten their names. I mean, they don't even know their names. Why? Because there have been so many intermarriages coming up in the family lineage before it gets to us. And then somebody will come and tell me that a woman was made out of the rib of Adam. And then I, a man, was made out of sand, dust. How? How is that possible? I mean, my father have to plant a seed into my mom to create me. My mom is the creator. My father is the seed carrier. The same way, if you have to plant a seed on earth, you have to open the earth to give the seed into the earth. And then you have what? You have plants. You have fruits. You have vegetables. Why? Because there is a seed into the earth. And so a man will take their seed and put it into a woman, and then a woman will use that seed to bring life. And now, the Bible itself is not even talking about the actual birth of a human being. They are talking about the actual spiritual birth of enlightenment. But that is not what we are talking about today. We are talking about death, life, death, and rebirth. How is it possible? And when we talk about this, some people will say, how does the universe create itself? Do you know how long the universe have been? They said the pyramid is 5,000 years. Does the pyramid look like it's 5,000 years to you? Look at the pyramid. Does it look 5,000 years to you? We all know it's not 5,000 years. It's more than that, far more than that. Do you know that time is limitless? Why is it so? Because we, Africa, is point zero. Nobody wants to talk about it. Because when you talk about the point zero, Africa have to come up. So nobody wants to talk about us. So they neglected, they started from +1, which is their area. So if you look at what they are doing to us, you will understand why they made it so important to bring us down. We are the only people that allows the sun circulate within us. We are the only people that have studied the universe, and we have studied ourselves. We have come to understand that there is no difference between us and the outer universe. That is what our ancestors studied. The people killing blood, killing animal everywhere in Africa in the name of spirituality was created by the same people who are giving us religion. So when you go out of the religion, you're trying to go back to your African tradition, it is already falsified. So this gets a lot of people confused. You know, all of these things was created by the same people. It is our actual way of life, which is called our spirituality, that they call their astrology. You know? That is what they call their astrology. It's from us. Thank you, Laura. It's from us. Our way of life is not evil. You know? We understand herbs. We understand plants. The current medicine you are using today was learned from Africa. We had all those medicine. But rather, even the same way they have deceived people in the Bible, that is what they are also doing in the medicine, because what they are doing to us is to postpone us. They are not actually treating the disease. Okay, when an animal is sick, where does it go to? Plants. And then when we get sick, where do we go to? Hospital. And so our life is also already in their hands. They decide whether we live or not. If animal eat animal like dog now, only a dog who doesn't live near a bush will die of poison. If a dog lives very close to a bush and the dog have the strength to go quickly to that bush, they will come back and vomit whatever poison they have eaten. But a human being, when you have headache, doctor. You have stomach pain, doctor. You have leg pain, doctor. Must it always be the doctor? Do you know that they have been doing operation in Africa before the actual operation? What do we do when we do operation in Africa? We use a leaf, put it in fire, and then we cover the place. after 2 weeks, that place will be like they never. It will just be like maybe you just use razor to give that place a mark. The mystery of African herbs and tradition. That is who we are. So what you understand as African way of life, African spirituality, is not even African spirituality. Why? Because it's been falsified, it's been demonized. You know? So it's been demonized over time. So the most craziest thing happening to people today is when they realize that religion is a lie. Now they try to go back to their own tradition. They realize that this same tradition is almost like the religion. And then they go back to religion. You see? So even our own tradition is also being invaded. Why? Because the people who are in control of it is not the people who is supposed to be with it. African tradition is all about herbs. It's all about herbs. It's all about human understanding. It's all about the expression. We know that for you to manifest something, it has to come from within. So we give the knowledge to people. Why? Because for you to have, you must work within yourself. In African tradition, we say that ogwego anara lolo onye na-enwere aka ọlụ. This is our tradition. For you to add African spiritual system to your life, you must have something doing. You must have something you're doing. But we live in a system that religion have made them to pray and wait for solution, without going out to find the solution, without taking opportunities. Now, what is happening to people? They have inscribed this same system into our tradition. So people don't want to work, people want magic. But we have forgotten that we are the magic. You hold the greatest magic. Do you know that the ability to create makes you a god? The ability for you to enforce reincarnation makes you a god. That is what makes you a godly being. That is what makes you a god that creates. You know? That is your ability to give life. Can you imagine? We have lived all our life giving life. But yet, we don't even have the realization that we are the God that have been creating everything. If you have the ability to impregnate a woman, and the woman have the ability to create that life and bring it into existence, do you know who you are? Which means you have the ability to create anything you want. That is why the manifestation is mental. So if you're still stuck in religious mindset, like Jude Dipiccio said, it can work. A lot of us say, I make affirmations, I make affirmations. Your affirmations can never come into manifestation if you don't believe in yourself. You can say, I'm making affirmations, but you don't believe that you have the power to create that manifestation, that affirmations. Make affirmations only when you know you have the ability to create them. Because if you're making affirmations and then you doubt your ability to create those affirmations, you're wasting your time. It's mental. This is the same thing they are doing to people, and it's so painful in my own culture. It's really so painful that people will live their life killing animal to their chi. That is why I love our Yoruba spiritualists so much that after everything, I'm not saying they are right in everything, but after everything, they still have the mindset that they have to give sacrifice to themselves. Which is the Ori. The Ori the Yoruba people are calling, that is what we call the Chi. And then the Eledumare they are calling, that is what we call the Eke okike abịama, ti ukwu okike abịama, the higher being. And the higher being, what is the higher being? The higher being is not different from our actual self. The higher being is what makes us a consciousness that exists and having experience of its own as a part of the actual universe. You know? Okay, Quincy is saying, I want to know how to control my spiritual awakening. That is what I'm teaching you. So pay attention and understand. You can never control your spiritual awakening if you don't have the right knowledge. That is why when people walk this path, they get confused and they get depressed. You know? I keep telling people there is no chi without the eke. You cannot have just masculine without the feminine. The only thing they have hidden from us is from letting us to understand that we are the God. Because you carry the Son. The Son of Man is what makes you a God. And what is the Son of Man? That is your secretion that enables us to reincarnate. So you see, from the beginning of things, you will see that all of these things is connected. That is why it's 3333 in number. So the seed of creation, which is the sky and the universe that gives birth to the plants and the animal and every other thing in it, is the first union of marriage. That is the first union of marriage that gives birth to a child, which is the plant and us living and having life within it, the water and everything, the rivers, the oceans, you know, the minerals on earth. You see? So this is the first marriage. It's Trinity also. Then you come to the expression of that same way in the human existence. You see a man marrying a woman to create life. Now, you see the story in the Bible of Joseph and Mary, and then Jesus. They are talking about the masculine, which is the chi, and then the feminine, which is the solar plexus that is sitting above the root chakra. What does the solar plexus do? It creates life that enables us to reincarnate. And then, if we have to sacrifice the sun in order for us not to reincarnate, you know, so you have to make sacrifice of the sun. What is the sun you're making sacrifice for? It's not the actual son you're giving birth. It means you have to practice celibacy in order to sacrifice the son and let it crucified on the head, which is the chi. Now, a lot of people also misunderstand the chi. When we talk about the chi, we talk about the cerebellum, the cerebrum, the optic thalamus, the pineal gland, the medulla oblongata, the amun, all of the hallowed area. All of them within the head is the chi. You know? You know? So, what they are doing to us is actually to remove us from our natural state. That natural law is what they call spirituality, which means, I would tell people that spirituality does not exist. We are not the spiritual people. This is our way of life. This is how we should live. Yes, the 12 cranial nerves sitting on top of the spinal cord is the 12 zodiac sign, which is the disciples of Jesus. And then the spinal vertebra is 33 in number, which is the age Jesus lived before he died. So it's either you're aiding reincarnation or you're using the same sun to elevate your optic thalamus. And then they told us that the pineal gland is the third eye. That is not the eye of Heru. When we talk about Ossa and Ossa and Osset, Ossa being the masculine is the head. And then Osset being the feminine is the solar plexus that creates this secretion, which is the water of all waters. That is what they call the Dead Sea and the River Jordan. Where do they meet? They meet in the spinal column, which is the root chakra. And then they climb up to heaven, which is the head. The Heru is the optic, not the Pino. That is what brings light to you, to your consciousness. That is what brings light to your being. That is what elevates the life that we are living. That is what elevates us. That is what elevates the chi. Hello, Raspberry Furnace. You're welcome. You know, this is who we are. So when we talk about our spirituality, we are not just talking about our spirituality. We are talking about our way of life, because our spirituality is how we live. Thank you, Gracia. Thank you so much. Thank you. So that is how we live as a people, you know. Because if we are not expressing the same inner way, inner circle, you know, you cannot go and marry a woman to have a child. No. You're having a child with a woman because you are expressing what is going on within you. And some people will say, you're saying God does not exist. Okay, who now created the universe? But you as a person does not know that the universe recreates itself. When you cut off a tree, before the tree die from its roots, the tree will release all of the vitamins inside it to all the plants around them. You know? And sometimes when you cut off a tree, other plants will give the tree their own nutrients. That is why after cutting off a tree, you see the tree growing. Why? Because the actual life of the tree is not cut off from it. So there is life still existing because other trees around is healing the one you have cut off from. That is why they say the plants regenerates. And when we talk about regenerates, it means to rebirth. This is the same process we are doing as a human being. And you look at the animals, they recreate themselves. You know, a male animal will mate a female animal and they produce child, they produce life, the same process. Yes, all of them are connected at the roots. It's all electron. It's powerful. It's like electricity. This same reason is why they gave us shoes to wear. Your ancestors go on barefoot, but you don't know the reason. It's not bad. That doesn't make us uncivil people. We don't wear a flip because we have to collect electrons from the earth. Yes, rubber disconnects us from the natural electrons. Okay, Quincy is saying, I always feel movement on my forehead. What is the meaning? Whenever Jesus Christ lands on your optic, you will feel vibration. Like there is something like liquid oil moving inside of the veins within the optic. That is the Holy Ghost falling on you. That is the fire on the day of Pentecost that brought enlightenment to them. Why? Because they allowed themselves be crucified. You see? So this same process is the way we are living as a people. And then you go to, like I said, you go to the religious people. They are not supporting this recreation. Everything in this life recreates itself. Yes, a lot of people who will feel this vibration are people who are not engaging in too much sexual activities. You will feel it like somebody is tickling there. It's oil coming down. It creates vibration. Yes, you can feel itches because your body will give you sign that it's about to receive something good. You know, it's manifestation. When you manifest something, your hand will scratch you. It comes from the innermost part of you. You know. So people will be asking, how did the universe create? The universe creates itself. That is why we are talking about global warming. Protect the earth. Michael Jackson said it in his song, Earth. He said, protect the earth. The earth is dying off. Why? Because when the earth dies off, the human being will find it difficult for them to survive. You know? Now, the Bethlehem is the feminine aspect of us also. Why? Because that area is called the Bethlehem. That is where Jesus was birthed in, right? That is where this solar plexus is sitting. You know, and when the AK creates this life, and this life is allowed to go up to the head and be crucified, that is what you call Illuminati. All of us are busy finding way to be initiated. Come, let me teach you. You will be initiated within. Why you can initiate yourself? You're looking for somebody to initiate you. African tradition and initiate, a lot of us don't even know the meaning. We put you inside Mount from your birthday and 31 days after full moon. That is how you initiate a person. So which means you will stay 31 days from your birthday and after full moon. Gracilia, your nerves can be healed. Your body have the ability to regenerate itself, but the reason why your body is limitless from regenerating itself, from recreating itself, is because of the medicine you are taking. You need plants. You take plants. Plants will help you heal. You know, and also there is some principle you have to follow. Stop eating meals that are creating mucor inside you. Any meal, any meal that creates mucor inside you is a problem, because it will cause you disease. Good rice, Leo. You know. Now let's move even further. We talk about the Jesus feeding 5,000 people. If we have to go there, Jesus feeding 5,000 people. Gracilia, I'm still talking to you if you're listening. Jesus feeding 5,000 people with the fish and the bread. Now you look at your secretion. If you're a man, your sperm as a man, you smell it. It smells like fish and it tastes like salt. And then we move to the woman. Smell your egg. How does it smell? When you're having your baby period, smell it now. That secretion that comes out of the body of a woman, it smells like fish and it tastes like salt. And now Jesus feeding them with fish and bread is allowing this secretion to climb to the head. And then this secretion will use a method of titrating. That is the tithe you people are giving in religion. All of you giving tithe. Your body will use a method called titrating. That is the death of Jesus. When it dies, the body is recreating these cells, which is your secretion, into something better through the method of titrating. Titrating is how you get the higher and purest form of a substance. You know, so the deceived people is tithe. And that is how they have built the Western world with the tithe. Why? Because they don't have resources. Roman don't have resources. Britain don't have resources. Most of those land in Europe, they don't have resources. So they told us tithe. And we have been given tithes and offering. They are using it to build skyscrapers and good road. You know. They have stolen from our ignorance so much. You know. So now you come to how to heal your body. That is the same process. Because so when your body allows the secretion to be titrated and it moves into the highest part of highest form of itself, it becomes cranium. Thank you, Gracilia. It becomes cranium. And that cranium is what they call the bread of life. What is the religion doing? They are lying to people and they are giving them the body of Christ. You're eating the body of Christ instead of actually allowing yourself to have the body of Christ and be healed. So what happens after it turns it into cranium? It supplies this cranium, this bread of life, into all of your 5,000 nerves. So what happens? It means that your body will start healing itself. That is why the secretion of a man applied into the body can heal skin rashes. It can heal. is karmic. That is what we started this program with. It's karmic. That is why somebody will say, I've been praying, I've prayed so hard and it's not working. That is because you have karma. It's natural and is a spiritual process. That process of gaining this enlightenment is called spiritual. Why? Because you have to apply the natural laws in order to get yourself into that level of enlightenment. Jesus healing the sick, Jesus healing the blind is the same process. Why? Because when this secretion climbs and titrates into cranium, it heals all of your body. It first goes up to the optic, which is the inner eye. So the inner eye, the first eye have to open first, and then it moves to the 5,000 nerves. The 5,000 people is just the 5,000 nerves within your nervous system. You know? So you have to eat the right plants, the right food. There are a lot of plants that have calcium. Eat calcium-based plants. It can help straighten your spinal cord and correct all of those problems you have. So most of the problem we are having on our bones is because we are not eating the right food. We are not eating the right. But mushroom is very good. Gloves are very nice because it contains a lot of calcium. You know. Then this leaf called comfrey. Comfrey is very nice because comfrey is for bones. If you have bone fracture, use comfrey on it. That is what my ancestors in my village used to heal bone problem. Comfrey. Yes, comfrey. Drink it because it's healthy. You can drink comfrey. And then while you're drinking coffee, just add hibiscus, which is called zobo. A lot of us take zobo, but we don't know that zobo is very healthy for the bone marrow. Why? Because of the presence of clove. When you take, yes, you eat. Okay, you say I eat 4 cloves per day. Great antibiotics. Yes, yes, clove is very good for the bones. But then, if you want to really heal your inner bone, use comfrey and then apply clove. Yes, hibiscus tea is also very nice, but you have to add clove to it. And then pineapple. And when you're cooking the pineapple inside the pot, make sure that the crown of the pineapple is inside. The crown of the pineapple, which is the leaf, the plant itself, is also very good when you boil it and then you get the water. So what we are eating is affecting the way our body is. The medicine they are giving us is not bringing healing. Yes, the back of the pineapple, you can cook it and extract the water. If you want to make a good pineapple juice, like a pineapple brew, you know, cook pineapple, leave it for 40 days. Allow it to sour. If you want to get the best of African medicine, allow it to grow sour. No, when you add jasmine, it's not good. It's not everything you add mix up together. It will cause damage to you. Yes, cook it very well. Cook it, boil it, filter the water out, reserve it, leave it for 40 days. And then bring it out. Pineapple. Pineapple brew. If you want to make pineapple, nice pineapple brew, you know. Very good for cleansing, especially when you have fatigue or bloated stomach. You know. So all of these things are also very nice for the human body. And then you look at the Christus. The Christus is healthy because of what you eat. And all of us, many of us are taking milk, cow milk. Cow milk is not genetically in alignment with the human body. So when you give your child cow milk, you're destroying the genetics of the child, even from the brain. Why? Because the milk comes from the seat of the brain. It builds up in heaven. That is why in the Bible they called it the manna that comes from heaven. The manna from above. The above is the pinot. So the only milk you should be taking is human milk. So you women, please, when you have a child and you're having a lot of milk, make tea with your for your husband with it. And our men, please be receptive to collect this milk because it's healthy. Cow milk is not right for your children. It's affecting the kind of secretion you're producing. So actually, when you're taking cow milk, they are building zombified children. You can give birth to a zombie child. Use black sage, Quincy. Use black sage. Get black sage from Amazon, boil it, give them 1 teaspoon in the morning, 1 teaspoon in the afternoon, 1 teaspoon at night before bed. Please don't give them glass. Children, you have to be very, very careful before you overdose them. Black sage. So this pattern is how we recreate the body in order for the body to allow us to live long enough. So if you even follow the calculation of African calendar, you understand that all of the people they told us that lived 100 years, 1,000,000 years, never lived so. Okay, you look at the calendar now. After calculating it, you find out that your age is not even your actual age. Great Rasing Ashanti. Great Rasing. You see? So you realize that your age is not even your age. In Africa, we are ageless. We express a living. That is why we lived long. No limit. There is no year in African calendar. We have ages. If you look at their year, you have 2 seasons inside 1 year. While Africa, we have just 10 months as a season. So now we are in New Year. We are going into planting season. And by the end, some part of Africa will have their harvest by December. They are still following it. Till January, they are still harvesting. And then by ending of January, they are done with their harvesting, and entering February. And then they enter March again, which is the return of the sun on earth. Yes, 10 months. We have 10 full moons in a season. If you need something to heal your nerves, take seat on the back. They created the 12 moons to hide the coming of Christ. So while you're waiting for the coming of Christ, they are actually experiencing the coming of Christ every month. That is why they said that he will sneak up on us like a thief in the night. Thank you, Raspberry. The Son of Man will sneak up on us like a thief in the night. That is what I said. I know you were going to give it to children. That is why I said 3 1/4 spoon. Seed on the back is called chakapiandra. Very nice for the nervous system and blood circulatory. Or if you don't see it, you find the leaf called independent. It's also very nice for the nervous system and blood circulatory. September is 7 now. Counting from December, December is 10. November is 9. Just like that, count it up. Some of the months are not supposed to be there, they just added it. Originally, yes, independent leave. So originally in African religion we have 4 days, which is the 4 market days. The 4 market days is according to the elements within, which is fire, water, earth, and air. That is the 4 elements within. And then as expression of it, we have to experience the sun rotating all of these elements within. Starting from fire and ends with air, and then it moves into fire again. Great rising, Smith, His Royal Highness. Her Royal Highness, sorry. You're welcome. So it's rotating. If you look at it, it's 4 days a week. So how many weeks do we have in 28 days, which is 1 full moon? We have 7 weeks. We have 7. Karma is as a result of whatever we have done in a past life. Even in this life, if you remove pregnancy, that is karmic. You can inherit karma from removing pregnancy by killing somebody. Whatever you do to hurt people, you can inherit karma from that. So removing pregnancy is also killing. In Africa, it's forbidden. You don't remove a child who you don't know its destiny. You see? So if you come to Africa, we have 4 days as 1 week. That is Otu Izuka. And then we have 7 Izuka. Izuka is Sa in 1 full moon. So the rising of the sun creates our moon sign. So without the rising of the sun, we cannot have a moon sign, a full moon. So it is from the rising of the sun, that we actually have a full moon. So if you look at the months, they added more to it. And if you look at the moon is always full when we are in another month, which means it's not correct. They are taking us forward. So your actual age is not actually the age you should be. So if all of the moons are 28 days and all of the days are 4 days and all of the weeks are 7, you will see that you need a lot of subtraction. You need to minus a lot of things from your original birthday. You're having full moon when it's already March. You're supposed to be having the full moon when it's already 28, which means at the time you saw the full moon, it was already 28. That is the 28th day you're seeing the moon. Not on the 6th or 5th of March, or even 7th of March. You see? So it's supposed to go according to the months. Now you look at the Gregorian calendar. The Gregorian calendar is the opposite of the African calendar. Thank you, Smith. Thank you, Ra Divine. So the Gregorian calendar is the opposite of our original calendar. What are they hiding from us? They are hiding our solar return, which is the return of the Son of Man, which is the return of Jesus Christ. So the return is called the solar return, and it happens on our birthday. From your birthday till after full moon, you will experience the rising of Christ within, if you do not engage in any sexual activity within this period. Okay, now, like I said, if you look at the Gregorian calendar, they have 7 days making 1 week, and then they have 4 weeks making 1 full month. So they are using the opposite of our original calendar. So they just added, for that to be possible, they added for some days and they added some other moons. So if the original moons is 10 and they are adding 2 on top, imagine what your birthday originally is from. So if you're 30 years, how many do you think you're going to remove from all of the years you have lived? You see? So our birthday is not even our original birthday. If you subtract all of those years, you will see that you're still a very young person. We are still very young. They are pushing us to be older than we should be. Yes, it's the full moon. After the full moon, all of that thing will release Tracy. He's taking energy from the full moon. The full moon is still very much active, so it is affecting so many people. So if you look at the Gregorian calendar, like I said, you see that they are using 7 days, while African calendar is 7 weeks. They are using 7 days as 1 week. And while our 4 days is 1 week, they are using 4 weeks to create 1 month. So it's just the opposite of our original calendar. So they are expressing our knowledge. Is our knowledge they are using to develop themselves. But when a person doesn't know their history, what happens? They can easily be deceived. Any person who doesn't know their history can easily be deceived. So we're talking about reincarnation, birth. We are talking about life, birth, and rebirth. Life, birth, and rebirth is the seat of reincarnation. So if you look at the explanation I gave about how we should recreate the chi, and I've talked about how the body can be able to recreate itself. Thank you, Gracilia. We talked about how the body can recreate itself. This is also the same way the plants regenerate itself. So when it comes to the body, we also call it the regeneration of the body. That is also Jesus feeding the 5,000 nerves with fish and bread. If you can see Tracy Love, if you can see guava, maybe he's having fever. If you can see guava leaf and mix it with lemongrass, boil it and give him to drink. If you have honey, put original honey on it, he will be fine. Thank you so much, Queen M. So this same process that the sky and the earth uses to recreate themselves is the same process our body uses to regenerate itself. The plants regenerate themselves and our body regenerates itself. So if you look at the human body, for it to regenerate, we have to eat more of plant like the animals, more of the plants. We need to eat more of the plants. The meal they are giving us is creating mucus in our body. And then you look at the reason why they have market. They created market in order to regulate what they are giving the people. So what they are giving to us is regulated because we have market. I always say that I'm not on YouTube yet. I don't have audience on YouTube, so they haven't granted me the pass for life. So I don't have up to 1K followers unless you people can make it possible for us, and then this program can be on YouTube. So my YouTube channel is Shamanic Vibes 1111. Let me quickly just put it down for you guys. Shamanic Vibes. So that is my YouTube. If you guys can help us help the program grow, we can have more audience. Then I can start coming live on YouTube. But most of most of the most of this program, like today program, I'm going to post it on YouTube in case anybody have something they want to grasp. I also cut the video and I repost them on TikTok. So that is how we have been, carrying on with it, just gradually, until they allow me to make start live on. Thank you, Cha Cha Chichi. You can get guava leaf. Where do you stay? You can get guava leaf from Amazon now. If you don't see guava leaf, use sour sop. It's very good. It will clear all of the circulatory system and make him very healthy. Thank you, Cha Cha. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Raspberry. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I always feel a movement on my head. Thank you, Cha Cha. As if someone is knocking on my head. Is it normal? Yes, it's normal. Sometimes when you feel the presence of your ancestors, it feels like something is tickling your head. So whenever you feel that, please start making affirmations. If you want to clean mucus, soursop leaf, soursop roots, mix it together, and then you add lemongrass. It will clean you up. And then another way to clean mucus is make a pineapple brew. Cook pineapple very well, cook it very well. The water will be thick. Filter the water, allow it to stay for 40 days. Put it in a bottle, bottle it up, lock it, allow it to stay for 40 days. You can put it in a fridge, but make sure it's 40 days. So we should go back to the plants. The plants bring healing to the human body. Blessings to you. Blessings. Blessings to you, Tia. If you're staying in a place where their water is full of chemical, eat more of plants that contain water now, like cucumber, watermelon. Eat more of a pumpkin. Eat pumpkin leaf. Pumpkin leaf is very nice for blood circulatory and also very good for the womb. Pumpkin leaf, use it to make soup. And make sure you remove the pin on the stick so it wouldn't scratch your throat. Soursop leaf and root, lemongrass. No, don't put pineapple. Pineapple is separate. Pineapple is you leave it for 40 days. That is another brew itself. And mind you, if you have a bloated stomach, pineapple inflammation, all of that, pineapple brew will clear it up. Especially somebody who find it impossible to belch. That is a disease. You can't belch because there is a blockage, there is a mucus on your artery. So when the artery is closed by some of the oily food we eat, what happens? It blocks the artery. You can belch. You can't be able to belch. So to open that artery, what do? We take pineapple brew. So reincarnation is happening within us and is also happening within the plants and animals. You're welcome, Queen.
Yeah, good morning.
Good rise. Please come closer to the speaker so we can hear you loud and clear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, good morning.
Good rice.
Oh, good rice though. Oh,
Yes, all of the
um,
pineapple, make sure the crown on the pineapple is inside the pot. Cut everything inside. The leaf of the pineapple is very good for blood circulation.
okay.
Go
But
ahead,
what
Queen.
about someone that? What about that? What about someone that have like blood pressure?
Mm.
What can someone use?
That is hypertension, right? Somebody
Yes,
who
please.
have you have blood pressure.
Yes, please.
Guava leaf is very nice for blood pressure. Soursop leaf is very nice for blood pressure because soursop leaf is nice for anxiety. It reduces anxiety. And then trumpet leaf. Do you know trumpet leaf?
No. You see all these leaves you're
Trumpet.
mentioning, where I can't
Mm.
get them.
That leaf that make noise in the bush, it makes noise when wind touches the leaf. It blows
Hmm.
like trumpet.
Which day person don't go bush last?
Aye. Snail whisperer, if you're having trapped nerve on all of your legs, use trumpet leaf, just like I'm telling her. It's good for all of the diseases, hypertension, traps,
Yeah,
circulatory
what I'm
system,
saying,
and
yeah,
all of
I
that.
can't get
Trumpet leaf.
you can't get all those things.
You can get it at Amazon. To send,
Okay.
yes, trumpet leaf. Very nice.
Trumpet
Cook and
leaf.
drink. Cook and drink the trumpet leaf. You will be fine. And then
Okay.
if you don't see trumpet leaf, thank you Sheila, thank you Gracilla, thank you Babati. If you don't see trumpet leaf, use the water from what is it called, miracle leaf. Place it over fire, and then you squeeze the water, rub it all over your leg. It will release all of that pain and blocks on your bloodstream. Yeah, parasite
Yeah.
cleansing is very nice with plantain water. Use plantain water. The water from
Mhm.
plantain body.
But all these things
Cut
you're saying,
plantain.
can women be doing all this ritual
I'm
if I
not
want to
talking
do
about
cleansing?
ritual. I'm talking about
No,
plants
like
to help
cleansing.
people.
Cleansing.
Hmm?
Cleansing.
Cleansing ritual.
Yeah.
I can't give you a cleansing ritual if I don't know who you are. I need to
Okay.
know you and know what works for you now.
Ah, okay. Because I've watched
During
your
rainy
program.
season,
I've
go ahead.
I've watched your program when you
Mm,
came to someone's life. This MC Bishop, when you were talking about
yes.
some things about our deities and all that. So
Mm,
then, since then, I've been following your program, but not always, though. But
okay.
I watched that very day. I listened to your program that very day. We're in that
Mm,
life.
okay. Oh, I didn't know you were there. You're welcome.
Yeah.
So, Chacha,
So
what
I
did the
want to.
papaya tell you? Maybe we can have something about it.
Can I have your contact number if possible? Probably after the live, someone can
Okay.
contact you.
Do you have something to write it down with?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay, 091 091
Yeah,
91
9
36960244.
0
091
9
36
1 3
96
9 6
36960244.
0 2 4 4. Okay,
Yes.
then.
Please, anyone who got the number, if you're out of Nigeria, remove the first zero, replace it with +234.
Okay, then.
If you're outside Nigeria, please remove the zero, the first zero, replace it with +234.
Okay then.
That is my
I will
area
give you
code.
a call. Yeah, I will give you a
Okay,
call.
no problem.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let me go back to the comments. I think. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you so much. Our ancestors are wonderful. They are great. You know, the wisdom is not mine. It's been here. Okay. Chacha, I saw papaya tree talk to me. Chacha, can you remember what the papaya tree said? It might be something that is very important. Yes, ulcer, use independent leaf. Very good for ulcer. It will clean up all the whole of the ulcer. Then, if you want to clear parasite, plantain during raining season, if you put your hand inside the body of that plantain tree, you will notice there is water. Squeeze out the water from the plantain tree. That water, drink it. Get 1 glass cup. Squeeze the water out and drink it raw like that. It can be very cold though, you know. It kills parasite. Very nice for the stomach. It will kill all of the parasites, clean your stomach, and make you shit all of those things out. All of those. The comment section is behaving. Yes, boil the trumpet leaf and drink 1 glass in the morning, 1 glass in the evening. Chacha, I'm not seeing your comment. What did the papaya tree say? I am in Delta State. Deborah, I'm in Delta State. The tree said I should cook the leaves, drink it, then shower with the water as well. Yes, go and do it. It's negative energy. Maybe in your workplace you are accumulating a lot of negative energy, you know. So get the papaya tree, cook it, drink it, and also bet with it. It will help remove all of the negative energy you have absorbed. Very nice. It will clear all of the negative energy. Please, when you have chronic pain at the back, there are some exercises you can do to remove all of those chronic pains, you know. And then you need to detox your bloodstream. Take medicine that is good for the kidney. If you're having chronic back pain, it means that the kidney is not relaxed. Probably the kidney, there is something blocking, there is some mucus blocking your artery. So what do? You drink a soursop leaf. If you don't see soursop leaf, drink seed on the back or shine bush. You can also use St. John bush or Joseph's coat. All these plants can also help. This plant, when you touch it and it closes itself, we call it the shame bush. One you me fere. You know, when you get the plant, it's very, very rooted, especially some of those men who have pain on their scrotum. If you always have pain on the scrotum, you have weak erection. Drink the plants. And if you're a woman, you have low libido, you have a problem having this union with your husband or your partner. It's always very difficult to arouse you. What you do is get the plant. When you touch it, it sleeps. Just drink it, turn it to your tea. Every morning, take it as 1 ceramic cup as a tea. Don't put sugar, just the plant. Take it, and then you will see changes. You don't need to insert all of those things inside. You need a plant that will help you cleanse all of the mucus that is actually restricting your vagina from acting the way it should be. You know. Please, voodoo is not religious. Please, let's not misunderstand that. Voodoo was created out of African dance and enchantment. That is what we call voodoo. And what you call ogwo is not voodoo. Ogwo is not voodoo. Voodoo comes from the expression of self, the way we dance. When you see our mothers dancing to our local traditional music, that is voodoo. Voodoo begins when the spirit starts dancing. Yes, it closes when you touch it. It's very nice plant for men who have scrotum problem, weak erection. Another one that is also very good for that, like people who have what is it called? This cancer on the scrotum. Eat carrots. Eat a lot of carrots, and then use the leaf from a carrot. Add lemongrass to it. Cook it very well and drink. Carrot is not bad. If the carrot you have there, the carrot you have there is not organic. Our own carrot is not bad. Do you know what carrot is? Do you know that when you eat carrot, you are eating the root of a plant? You don't know? Carrot is not man-made, though. It's original. It's not man-made. Carrot has been in Africa before the Europeans came to us. Yes, raspberry, like the ginseng root. That is just what I want to give reference to the ginseng root. The chicken is not original. It's a lab. It's not like the fowl, African fowl. African fowl, you can see it in the bush. Carrots are root plants, yes. When you're eating carrots, you're eating the root of a plant. What can I do to reduce liver fat? If you want to reduce liver fat, take tuna plant. Thank you, Simiri. Tuna. Take tuna plant. Tuna plant. Tuna plant cleanses the liver. But when you're taking it, please don't over soak it. When you cut tuna inside clean water, don't cut too much because it's going to be too slippery that you will not like it. Your saliva is connected to the liver. That is why whenever you have a problem of the liver, the sign comes up on the tongue. You know? So it comes on the liver. So what do? You take tuna plant. Yes, tuna plant for liver cleaning. Very nice. Or okra. Okra is also nice. Any slippery plants. No, no, no. Tuna is not aloe vera. Tuna is for the liver. Is different. You know that that plant that looks like the palm, but it has a kind of stone on it. Thorn. It has a lot of thorn on it. The same karma you inherit from killing animal is the same you inherit from killing the fish. Yes, cactus plant. Cactus plant. Yes. So take tuna. Anything that regards the tongue and the liver, take tuna. Tuna plant is very nice for that. So, life, death, and rebirth, life, death, and rebirth is the key of reincarnation. You know? So, yes, people inherit karma from killing animal. Yes, thank you, Simiri. Thank you. Yes, tuna plant, that is what I'm saying. Your tongue is connected to the liver. That is why when you have a problem of the liver, it shows on the tongue. So the liver is what creates your saliva. So the saliva is coming from the liver. Thank you, Raspberry. It's coming from the liver. So what do? You take tuna or okra. You know okra, soak okra, and you drink it if you can drink it. Me, I can't drink okra, but I can take liver. Tuna. I can take tuna plants, you know. God didn't say you have dominion over any animal. A man told you you have dominion over animal, not God. Our original African carrot is white in color. That is what I've been telling you people. Everything we are eating is regulated. Is regulated. Most of the good plants they create here in Africa, they shipping it outside. They are shipping it to Canada, America, Europe. Nothing for us. It's just the scrubs that fall out. That is what they are selling to us in the market. So imagine when we start producing our own plants. They will go hungry. Yes, original carrots are white in color because it's root. I keep telling people carrot is root plants. Thank you, da baby. Carrot is a root, just like ginseng. When you see carrot, you're looking at the root of a plant, and it's not sweet. You don't blend the okra. Just slice, soak in a bottle. You can add mint leaf, so it can allow you to drink. Oh, me, I can't drink okra. I cannot. Okra is good for the heart too. Very nice. Okra. Or you use some of the people who have hotness in the stomach, use spinach or our African. Yes, it's being poisoned, and you people have poisoned us too. All of the food is poisoned. Sheila, all of the food you guys are eating there is poisoned. Yes, it's poison. So, and for us here to send herbs to you people is very expensive. Most of during raining season, all of these herbs I'm mentioning, I will carry a video to show you people all of the herbs. You know, even the plantain you people are eating is not good for your health because it's not the original plantain. The original African plantain, if you take the plantain itself or the banana, you put it on the ground, it will grow. is in Africa. It's produced in Africa. The white carrot is in Africa. Like I said, everything they are giving us is being controlled. Everything they are giving the general public is being controlled. Even their own people, they are also doing the same thing to their own people. They are killing everybody. Why? Because they want everyone to be zombified. They want you to do what you are told. So even when you think you're thinking for yourself, you are not. You're thinking like that because you have been programmed to be like that. Thank you, Gracilia. Please, I will have to go now. Thank you, everyone, for being here. If I stay longer than this, the phone will start hanging. It's been 2 hours, so I can be able to cut it. It takes me like 2 days to cut it because of my phone, the nature of my phone. It will start getting really hot, and I don't want to go out this life without saying thank you to all of you. Thank you, all of you, for being here with us. This program is to create enlightenment for all African children. You know, we need to bring back our original. Thank you. I love you all too. I love you so much, Raspberry. I love you all. Thank you for always coming around to learn. I just saw 222 now. Yes, let me give it a little chance. Glorious Vicky, you can see what she just wrote. Eva Diva, cloves, ginger, garlic, Aidian, boil and drink for 3 months or more for fibroid. Yes, that is also fibroid medicine. Please don't get angry. Some of your comments is not even coming true. Some of your comments is not coming true. I can only see few. So a lot of you would think I didn't. I saw it, but I acted like I didn't see it. TikTok is telling me that now that some of the comments is being filtered. So please, if I didn't answer your question, I'm really sorry about that. Next time we'll go through all of your questions. Yes, it's an old phone, so I'm just managing it for now because I must do my purpose now, so I can't give excuses for that. Like my friend said, she said, your ancestors don't understand that. They only know that you must go and do the job. So that's what I'm doing. So whatever comes after, I show gratitude. So thank you everyone for being here. I really appreciate you all. May our Mother Earth bless every one of us. May our Mother Earth bless every one of us, and may we drink from the milk of our mother. Thank you everyone, and please go out there and conquer. Go out there and conquer. And like I said before, if you're having affirmations, if you're making affirmation and you don't believe in yourself that you have the power to achieve those affirmations,